But I'm feeling really emotional. Like, it's just so, like...
It puts a lot into perspective, doesn't it? Because of all the rain yesterday, we couldn't do the food tour that we wanted to do. So instead, we spent most of the time just in the apartment editing the videos for the channel.
Today we're still not going to do the food tour, not because we don't want to. I'm really looking forward to it. I love eating. I'm going to start that again. Today there's this free walking tour that we really want to do. Now the free walking tour is all about World War II, and we thought it would be a great way to learn about the city and the history, while also kind of doing some prep for when we visit Auschwitz in about a week. But don't worry, we are still going to do the food tour. We're just going to do it tomorrow.
But before the tour, we need a coffee and I need some breakfast. So we've got a coffee and I've got a croissant.
This is the old town and it's really pretty. And I think that's our tour guide with the orange umbrella.
Hi.
Are you doing the walking tour, the World War II one?
Of course.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you. So the tour we are at is the tour of Second World War in Warsaw.
First, our guide Albert led us around Warsaw Old Town. He explained how the city was destroyed during the Second World War. Parts of it were reconstructed exactly the same as they had been, using materials salvaged from the wreckage. You can still see holes from bullets and shells on some of Warsaw's grandest buildings today.
This is the nowadays Presidential Palace of Poland and also Hotel Bristol. So there was a plan of Polish underground state, very young back then because it was only 5 days of the occupation, but they already made a plan to assassinate Hitler because the Nazis that were, administrating this area, they didn't know yet the area, so it was like, very quick action. They put explosive materials on the road. Unfortunately, there was a guy who needed to detonate the explosive materials. Soldiers entered all the houses that had a view on the street and they kicked off all the people from there. So the explosive materials, they never exploded.
Albert told us about the history of Polish people in Warsaw, spanning from the democratically elected Polish kings to the Polish uprising in World War II. We were surprised to find out how diverse a city Warsaw was before the war. 30% of the population had been Jewish, but unfortunately not many of them survived.
We are at the very tip of Warsaw Ghetto. 100,000 people died in the first 2 years. I hope I covered most I could in 2 hours. Have a safe stay and safe travels, and I will see you on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you.
And if you have any questions, go to our website.
Okay.
Have a nice day in Warsaw.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
We've just come to the end of the tour today. We actually haven't had a chance to discuss it yet. We've finished the tour literally about 5 minutes ago.
I definitely recommend it if you are interested in World War II history. It was very harrowing, obviously, because Poland was occupied by Germany for the whole of the Second World War. And here they had, I think it was the largest Jewish ghetto, was here in Warsaw. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot to take in. But I'm feeling really emotional.
Yeah. It puts a lot into perspective, doesn't it? It's one of those things where, because we're both from Britain, we grew up learning about the Second World War at school, but you don't really tend to understand the impact that had on certain areas until you visit certain areas. We were incredibly lucky today that our guide did a tour this morning and had 22 people there, whereas today we were the only people on the tour, so we managed to get a really kind of in-depth, more intimate tour from our guide, which was amazing.
We're not sponsored. We're going to link them below because they were amazing. So
thank you, Albert. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're going to go and get some lunch from one of the restaurants that Albert recommended us. Also, we really need to be able to process the information that we got on the tour today.
I'm so hungry. I'm not eaten anything today. Need some food. I'm really struggling to find this restaurant. I don't know which way we came from. I see the restaurant. That's it.
After arriving at the restaurant, we realised that it was a little bit out of our price range, so we're currently trying to find somewhere a little bit more in our budget.
There is another restaurant that our tour guide recommended us, that someone I know from back home also recommended us. I'm just trying to find where it is.
It took us a while. It's now gone 5 o'clock, but we finally found where we're going to have some lunch.
We got dumplings again because we really like dumplings. We're going to make trying them quick because you've already seen us try dumplings before. These are even better than the ones we had before. So good. There was so much flavour in that meat. Oh my god. Great recommendation. Really happy with this. We're feeling really tired after our walking tour. Although that might partly be because we had a really heavy meal after not having eaten all day. So what we think we might do for the rest of the evening is grab an iced coffee perhaps and sit in the square. Today's been really interesting. I'm not going to say it's been super fun because some of the facts that we learnt about World War II and Warsaw on the tour were quite harrowing, but we're both really glad that we did the tour today.
Tomorrow we're doing our first ever DIY food tour. We're going to go to an area of Warsaw called Praga, which is an up and coming quirky area of the city. Hang on.